proposal you be bugging.
Ready for tonight. Should touch that should be an obvious one, ladies and gentlemen. First game against the Jags. Good evening, Raider Nation. You already see it. There's no need to introduce. We already know she's a friend of the room. She's one that gets it popping every week. I love her column. It's the most amazing thing to read in the mornings after you get finished with it. It's the first thing I look for. Miss Peggy's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today, Miss Peggy?
Oh, I'm doing great, and let me tell you, that was one thrilling Sunday that we had. Now, did it?
Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure. Very.
And thank you so much for letting me come on your show and talk to us a little bit more, Raider Nation, and calm us down and give us little hugs.
Hugs and hope. I like the way that sounds. Hugs and hope.
First we want to shout out to, two beloved members of our family that have passed. Of course, the great George Atkinson, a wonderful man. I've had conversations with him. Just an amazing football player. And I don't know about you, Mr. Crump. When I look at his films, I just see smart.
Oh, he was absolutely amazing. I mean, and like you said, even after it all, just so many people talk so well about him in every facet. So yeah, that was a big loss. It's a lot bigger than people think. I would say, for sure.
Well, and then of course, the matriarch of the Raiders, Mrs. Davis, passed.
Yes.
And I don't think people are aware of it, but even up until last year, she was always inviting the Raider wives in for once a year annual luncheon that she used to have for them. And it was laid to the shade, and she always came in with dignity, always said hello to everybody. I mean, everybody has other parts of them, but that was the face that she showed love to the Raider women, even, no matter all through her husband's life. And she continued it really up until last year. And we want to make sure we shout out. But let's go right to that Jags game. Mr. Crump.
Yeah, let me make sure we're good too, though, because you know I'm always struggle streaming somehow, if you will. So let's just make sure our volume is good. Let's make sure our sound is right. Let's see who's out there. First and foremost, chat lives always matter. So shout out to the chat lives that's out here. We got Sacktown in the building. Sacktown.
Hey, Sacktown.
Yep. And I just kicked up on TikTok. We got all the other platforms running and rolling. So please feel free, type in, join in. I want to make sure that we're good on that sound. Sack, tell me if we sound all right. Sounds good. Perfect, mama. Appreciate you.
Perfect.
Appreciate you for hooking hubby up.
Yep.
So let's dive in.
We want to first start about this Jags game because a lot of people kind of didn't know how to look at this game. We had one side working right, the side that never works right, and the other side, right, the defense, who usually shows up for us, didn't show up. And I'm going to start right out by saying what I have said for 20 years. You do not have a pass rush, you're going to lose the game. Okay? As simple as that.
100%.
We had, between the 5 guys in our D-line rotation, I mean, not only weren't they stopping runs at the first level, the Jags had 150 yards rushing. I love that boy at the end, don't you? He's one of those guys, just tremendous vision and a quick first step. And I'm telling you, he was at the second and third level before the linebackers were even responding. The only linebacker that even showed up, of course, was White, 16 tackles. But, I mean, when one linebacker has to make that many tackles, and then the next 3 tacklers, leading tacklers, were all in the secondary, you know you having a rough day on defense. I mean,
having a rough problem. Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about Lau. I'm talking about Butler. I'm talking about Kuntz. I'm talking about Wilson. I'm talking about Booker. Between those 5 guys, they had 11 tackles.
Right.
Okay? And of course, no sacks. And Max, of course, he wasn't really getting tackles, although he did have 3 TFLs, tackles for losses. He had that 1 sack. I mean, Max can't do it all.
No,
Mr. Crump, are we doing to Max what we did to Khalil Mack? It's the same thing all over again. No DT help at all, and I just cannot understand. When I go through my list in the end, Mr. Crump, of the things that the Raiders have done, but I consider Pete Carroll has done wrong this year. Right. I'm going to start with the lack of attention to that DT position, especially when you knew you were sending Wilkins packing. You
not
need
only that,
a DT that commands a double team.
Correct. And I mean, the other thing I think they missed the ball on is, I mean, clearly the Jets were ready and willing to wheel and deal. I mean, we saw what they just got rid of, if you will, and that's Quentin Johnson, right? I mean, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We didn't go after that?
But everybody is ready to. But Mr. Crump, you keep forgetting about the wild card in here. The Raiders have been so bad at the way they have treated their personnel.
Right.
Word is around the league and around the agents. I'm not sure we're on a lot of those guys' lists. I really am not sure. As badly as we played, the constant coaching changes, the way we treated Carr, the way we treated Adams, and now the way we treated Mr. Myers. This stuff, the rest of the players in the league are looking at that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we're even on their lists.
I agree.
Places to come. I don't care if it's Vegas.
Yep, I agree. And
Mr. Crump, I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I mean, I'm just thinking, I was saying, not just because it's Vegas, just because it's Nevada, no taxes, that's not going to get a player in the prime of his career.
No, not at all.
Mr. Crump, I mean, to come here.
No, absolutely not. I think you are 100% correct. A lot of these guys, see, and that's the problem with that little bad apple, right? That quote unquote spoils the bunch. It's literally in everything. And the reality is, I would say 99% of the guys in the NFL want to win. They want to be able to provide for their families. I'd say a great deal of them wanted to be great at some point, but probably maybe realized really soon that they couldn't. But, you know, all of the tainting that's going on with these, you know, gambling allegations and, right, all the stuff that's going on, most of these guys want to be great. Look at Max Crosby. Does anybody think Max doesn't want to be great? So it's I hate the fact that one bad apple can spoil the bunch in that respect. But people aren't going to come here, like you're saying, Miss Peggy. When I'm repeating and preaching to the choir as you just stated. They look how they treated all of our superstars. It's still come here. Yeah.
And let's look at it from enough look from the player's point of view. And the Raider legends have lectured to me about this over the years. When you have a change of head coach, a change of coordinator, sometimes mid-season, and it happens year after year after year after year, that makes players nervous. Because all of a sudden they don't know whether they're going to fit into the new system that's coming here. They don't know whether they're going to be a coach's favorite. They don't know whether they're going to get along with their, unit coach, their assistant coaches anymore, their game coordinators, their run coordinators. They don't know whether their style of football is going to fit in with the new regime. You make them nervous. I think that's why we lost Spillane and Murray.
Yes,
I really, really do. A player has got to look out for his. He got to look out for his family. He got to look out for his future, his career. Okay, and maybe that's why the Raider roster doesn't have talent. But I want to move right over to offense. Of course, our man Bowers. He's back.
Bob Bowers is absolutely back. We are all excited. I'm beyond. He is the centerpiece. Believe it or not, and see, that's the thing. A lot of people were ecstatic and thinking that Janty was bringing us. No, it is Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is our centerpiece. He's everything we have to look forward to. Right?
127 yards, 12 catches, 3 touchdowns. But when your tight end is your best receiver, you're really in trouble.
Oh, you got problems.
You don't have a deep passing game. You don't have the ability to catch up if you fall far behind. You don't have the ability to eat up huge chunks of field. And when you can't run the football like we couldn't on Sunday, you can't keep the other offense off the field.
Cannot.
And that is exactly why we lost. Shout out to the missed point after touchdown. Okay, which made overtime necessary in the first place.
Don't even get me started.
I wish Raider fans would reserve as much of their ire for our usually reliable Mr. Carlson, who really caused all the problems at the end. We're missing that point after touchdown.
A problem.
But everybody wants to get on Geno. Oh, he should have known the way he threw it too low. Come on now.
Can't blame him.
You're sitting at the quarterback spot. The ball is snapped. How in the hell are you going to know that guy is going to actually be aware enough to know exact moment when you release the ball from your arm and to reach his hand up and know it's going to be enough to get the ball? How many times do you see that happen in the game?
Yeah, it was
rarely.
It's.
They blaming the trajectory he threw the ball at. Forget the 4 touchdowns. We don't care about that. We hate Geno so much right now. We can't even give him credit for nothing.
I agree.
No. They at that place, and I understand everybody got their breaking point. Everybody at that place now. Geno can't do nothing right now.
No.
You forget that. He's not going. He can have a 7-touchdown game run into himself. They still want to talk about that one play. He missed Lockett wide open. That's all you're going to hear about.
I agree. Yeah, there's no changing that. Unfortunately.
Right. Exactly. You're never going to hear about what he did right. For once, he was somewhat careful with the football. He took 2 sacks. But behind that, the O-line played slightly better. But again, we could not run the football, right? The next thing that people are going to talk about and been talking about is Kelly. What's up with him in the run?
Right.
He don't want to run football.
Yeah.
Nobody. Can you please tell me what's going on in Chip's head?
Nobody gets
Mostert, who is a very dangerous, Mostert, who's a very dangerous runner, didn't even get 1 carry.
Not a
And
single
you were close
carry.
enough whereas you could run the football and keep control of that game. Not Chip.
Nope.
He wants to throw 39 times.
And it's so annoying. It's nothing we can do. What can we do?
Somebody out there in the audience, I can't see your comments in the audience, but perhaps you could explain to me why. I mean, there was another game this year where we were missing both Meyer and Bauer, and yet the run was not the center of the offense. Since you can't throw deep, okay? And it's not just the fact that the O-line giving you 0 pass protection. That's just one of the problems. The other problem is the wide receivers. We have none. I just want to let y'all know, all of y'all are glad that mine got traded today. Our roster of wide receivers now includes no number 1, never did have one.
Never had one.
Okay? Now we have Lockett, who just got here. I don't care how well he knows Geno. He's in a Chip Kelly offense. Then we got Tucker, arguably the shortest man on the field at all times. Okay?
Hey, who's been balling though?
Then we have he's been doing his little, but we don't throw deep.
Right. Well,
and the last time you saw a pass of more than 30 yards.
Right. And to give him and Lockett credit, right? Because this is one thing that Janty has to love, and that is the fact that they actually blocked their ass up. Meaning Tucker mainly. Lockett, you got to expect him to take some time to get back up to speed. But Trey, he has some issues, right? We're not going to sit there and act like he didn't drop no drops, right? Sorry, Mama Tucker. I got to keep it a beat out here. We keep it 100%. He's my guy, but he had some butter hands a couple of times. So, and he is our only receiver right now, like literally. Has been, the pressure's been.
Right now, literally, but here we go to another aspect that football fans overlook. Right. It's not just the quarterback and the receiver. There's a third element to a successful pass and play, deep pass and play, and that's called play design.
Yes, we're missing it bad.
The design of the routes. I'm going to talk about it. When you sit around and you have 3 men in coverage around 1 wide receiver, that's not the receiver. That's play design. Why aren't at least 1 to 2 of those coverage men occupied elsewhere? Why aren't we running the kind of patterns deeper that will begin to fool the coverage or to pull coverage away from the target?
Right.
That's play design.
That's Chip Kelly.
That's Chip Kelly.
And people are not happy.
We rolling back up on Chip's doorstep, ain't we? I'm going to roll back up on him and Pete Carroll something terrible tonight, okay? Because if you cannot throw deep, if you can't throw deep, you're missing 1/2 of your offense.
It's
There's no way to get around it. People want to know why the Raiders are stumbling and bumbling and can't seem to get any consistency. We don't have a deep passing game. We are missing that element. And for a defensive coordinator, he couldn't be happier.
no. Nope.
He really couldn't be happier.
No.
Oh, good. I can single cover the guys on the outside and use my other 9 men any way I want. Okay? And that's what the problem is with the Raider offense right now. In addition, everybody who doesn't know, even over in a European league, they know now that the Raiders have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. We don't need to talk about that. I'm sure it's been talked about ad nauseum. But when you cannot run and or cannot pass the football because there's no holes, there's no blocking up front. Do we pull, Mr. Crump? I'm so jealous. I look at other games on Sunday, and I see their guard and their centers pulling.
Right?
Do we pull?
We don't do anything offensively. And I wonder, I almost wonder where this real true battle is. Is it really between Chip Kelly and Pete? Is it between Chip Kelly and his son? There's got to be something wrong here. You right? Don't you think that? I feel like there's something wrong.
Well, that's what the second part of what I wanted to get into about how did we get where we got. And I want to talk about Pete, what I consider to be Pete Carroll coaching mistakes. And it's clear to see certain things. Let's just take the trade to David Myers and look at the bad personnel decisions that were made. First bad decision, I'm just confining it of the trade of Myers. The first bad personnel decision is if you weren't going to pay Myers, you needed to trade him in the offseason.
Correct.
Before the OTAs, you already knew you weren't going to pay him. Why did you try to start the season and tell him, well, you just going to have to be happy? Second mistake, still within the Myers. I want people to think about this. Lockett did not get picked up by Tennessee Titans until April 28th. That is very late. Well after March 1. Okay? Why was Lockett still out there? Why, if Pete didn't want to pay Myers, didn't really know whether he wanted to keep Myers, then he should have went and picked up Lockett before the Titans finally got him.
Yep.
That's a no-brainer, Mr. Crump. Isn't Lockett a former Seahawk?
Yes.
Did he not play his best years? Why was Lockett still out on the market in April when you had already decided you weren't going to pay Myers? Why? Now you start the season with a disgruntled wide receiver. Now you had to wait for Lockett to request the Titans release him, which they were glad to do.
Right.
And then here we are, game 9, mid-November, just picking Lockett up.
Yep.
It should have been a no-brainer for Pete to go out and get a receiver that Geno was familiar with.
Right.
Why?
And that's why. Exactly.
Wait so long.
Exactly. And that's, again, why I've lost all of my faith in anything in this whole Pete extravaganza. It's over in my book. I mean, he had some flashes where it was like, yep, okay, but it's just not there.
No.
It's not there.
It's more than that. And please, the audience, you all can debate the question of whether has the game passed Pete by. No, it hasn't.
Right.
He just thinks he's in a place. Mistake. Now, that's just a Myers situation, okay? Mistake number 1 for Pete Carroll. Mistake number 2, that O-line. and you ask the question, what's going on in that locker room?
Right.
What's going on is mistake number 3, nepotism and favoritism, something that has always kept the Raiders from being a functional franchise. But mistake number 2, who, looking at the films of 2024, Mr. Crump, would not say to themselves, I got to replace every one of them guys, including Colt Miller. But no. But no, you want to reward a guy who was not only injured, but had arguably his worst season as a pro. You want to give him a $60 million extension. Right in the face of a guy like Myers, who had the best season of his career in 2024. This is why the Raiders are going to stay in the AFC basement. Who makes those decisions? You don't reward bad performance. I don't care how much you like it. Let's go to the. Who did not know that every single one of them offensive linemen, especially Parham, need to be replaced? Gotten rid of.
Everybody.
Not just put on the bench. Who did not know that the Raiders had one of the worst? But no, we hear people giving me PFF stats, Mr. Crump, right? Oh, they were good last year, according to PFF.
Right.
I'm like, really? Why did my quarterback get sacked 50 times?
Right.
50.
Right.
Why? Why was my running game ranked 31st in the league? Okay? Don't tell me about PFF and individuals. See, this is, and we'll get to the nepotism and favoritism. You know, Raider fans, and apparently Pete Carroll too, have favorites.
Oh, 100%. It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
They can do no wrong.
They can't.
I mean, Pete not getting a decent O-line in here, mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, let's go right back to the nepotism and favoritism. I am sick and tired of Raiders coaches, which is going to bring me to mistake number 4. Raiders head coaches, first of all, running the front office, but number 2, making it kind of the favoritism and bringing his son in there. Come on now.
it killed everything.
The offensive line is
trash.
It's obviously the worst performing unit on the team, Mr. Crump. But who can complain?
Nobody. What are you gonna say?
Who you gonna complain to?
Right.
What you gonna march, Mr. Crump? Mr. Crump, they gonna march in the room. Pete, you gotta get rid of your son.
Ain't gonna happen. Exactly. Ain't gonna happen.
Favorite.
It's I mean,
it rolls me back to them. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, this is where Mark and him having to deal with being the dad, the daddy's son, and and I always keep saying this and reiterating it because I really pray and hope Marks hear this. This is not your fault, sir. I don't care what anybody says, and maybe Miss Peggy disagrees with me, but in my eyes, in my opinion,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, this is not his fault, and the reason I can really vehemently say this is because it's very easy to look at the timeline. It's I mean, you can go all the way back to where he thought he was his daddy. You know what I mean? Right? He was trying to act like he was in the mix and making, calls and doing things. And then he realized, nah, that's not it. And then he got into, okay, I'm going, swallow my pride, and I'm going to take what I think is something that fits, and they are proven, and that's right, the Josh McDaniels thing, right? I think
even before that, Gruden.
Even before that, yeah, And that's what I'm saying. But I'm just trying to rush it because.
I'm with you. I'm with you every step. We are hand in hand in this story.
Yes.
Of Mark Davis not being equipped or educated or experienced in any way to run into. And this is not to make excuses, because my friends, you could forget about Mark Davis voluntarily selling a multi-billion-dollar accident. You must lost your mind.
And look, and I even said that because
Why in the world would he get rid of a multi-billion-dollar NFL team? Go ahead, Mr. Crawford.
I believe he is currently worth $7 billion in terms of just the Raiders alone. That is what that stadium has done in 5 years. So you are absolutely right. He's not. But that's where I get a little nervous. I wouldn't either, and I don't blame him. But my nervousness comes from I don't know if we're gonna ever get this stench, this whatever's following us, unless we literally completely get everybody out the building. I really honestly, in some ways, believe that because it's been 25 years. And that's why I say I'm just going to bring this home. And Mark Davis has literally backed out. He's backed out. He's literally said, hey, Tom, here's your piece. Here's your piece. Y'all go run this. Y'all go get whatever y'all want to get. I am completely out of this. I'm just a money man. Oh, you want me to pay an offensive coordinator more money than any offensive coordinator has ever had in their lifetime in the NFL? Have at it. Here it is. I don't even like this guy, but here it is. That's what y'all want. Like, he's done everything. He's dealt with idiots in public. See, because that's the thing. Y'all got to know. He's dealt with the idiots in public. I've been there where I felt embarrassed to be a Raider because we're out. We're literally out in public. It has nothing to do with Las Vegas Raiders. Nothing. This man is out just enjoying the day, and he's got to deal with some idiot. Sorry, Vegas Ralph. Ralph was my doggy. But throwing the sign in his face, fire, right? Like, dude, I don't know. I'm just saying. My problem is Mark did everything he needed to do. It's time to lay off him because I don't think there's any blame with him anymore. The only way and reason there's blame is because the people he's hiring aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
But that goes back to, I don't know whether I made the analogy on your show, but that goes back to a guy who owns a tomato factory but doesn't want to learn anything about tomatoes.
Yes. It does.
Therefore,
that's true.
Anybody who's got a pulse and breathes can come into his office and tell him bullshit.
I love it.
He has
to take it. He has to accept it.
Because he don't know nothing about tomatoes.
Nothing.
Therefore, he can't compare whether McDaniel's sitting down at his desk and saying, we got to get rid of Carr.
Right.
Carr got to go. Now, a guy that knows football would say, okay, and how are you going to replace 4,000 yards a year and 20-something touchdowns and the leadership in that locker room? Who are you going to replace him with? Who you got in mind? Give me a list. Mark can't ask those questions because Mark don't know nothing about tomatoes.
You're right.
And that's one of his issues. And he's simply not interested in the game. Not the way you and I and all our audience out there. And Mr. Crump, isn't it time for you to do your shout out to your audience? What's going on out there today?
We got Mama Tucker in the building. We good. He did it. Had to. Shake my head to He gonna make it up. He was upset himself about that. Look, Mama Tucker, I'm gonna tell you right now, he made up for it for me personally. Now you're gonna get every avenue of everybody's take on what Trey didn't do, etc.
Me and you were together. We're
Bottom
trench buddies, baby. We're together. Go ahead, Miss Clark.
This man put his nose inside those trenches like he was 6'2", 300 pounds. And see, people like us can appreciate that, the small ones, right? And the fact that he did that, look, Trey is safe. From my respect, he's earned a couple of mix-ups and things that's going to happen throughout this season. We can't, accept it, right? Like you said, he knows he's going to be harder on him than any of us can. So that's why I'm not worried about Trey from that respect. Because the last thing is he's always out right now. He's outside of ours. He's always out. So
and we really. But when you talk about the mistakes Pete Carroll has made, I'm going to that favoritism and that nepotism. The Raiders, and this is about culture, ladies and gentlemen. I am not talking about anything else but culture. I am talking about the kind of mentality that says back in 2016, 2017 season getting ready to start, let's let Bill Musgrave go and keep Ken Norton Jr. and bring in a co-defensive coordinator, Pagano, his replacement, just in case he don't work out. But Musgrave, the sixth ranked offense in the league, the reason why we even made the playoffs in 2016, you can go.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right.
There was no checking. And don't tell me about the gossip about Tice and Carr and all that. Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio was running that team at the time. He could have said no. If we had a GM with balls, and this is point number 5, he would have said no.
Yeah.
If you want to get rid of somebody, how about sending your USC buddy Ken Norton Jr. with the 23rd ranked defense? How about sending him to the showers and bring Pagano in as the new defensive coordinator? But we didn't have a GM, right, to fix that. The head coach was running everything. So Del Rio said, well, I don't like Musgrave anyway. He can go. He's taking my thunder away anyway. You see, that's why you need a strong GM. I'm going to give more points. Quentin Buckner, D-line coach under Gruden, brought our sacks from 32 to 20 in 1 year. Okay?
Right.
Gruden goes and says, well, I want to bring my guy Rob Marinelli in, and by the way, he a D-line coach, so Quinn, you gotta go. Okay? If y'all had a strong GM, hell no. This guy just improved my defensive line from 32 to 20. I'll pay Rob to be a consultant. What do you want, $1 million? I'll pay $1 million.
Give it to him.
If you want your boy Marinelli. But he's not replacing Buckner. It's those kind of decisions. Bringing your son in instead of a seasoned offensive line coach. Like Tom Cable.
Yes.
Who you worked with for 8 years, Seattle.
And it worked out.
I mean, another no-brainer. I mean, now he's with the Houston Showboats, the UFL. I mean, I can't understand what Pete is thinking.
Me neither.
I don't understand. And that's the kind of thing, that kind of thinking is why the Raiders stay in the AFC basement, why it looks like every year we're starting over and over again. Mr. Crump,
Yeah.
this thing about starting over and over, it's wearing on the fans' nerves. They can't take it no more. They can't take it no more.
I agree. I think this is the last straw. Seriously, I think, again, and that's why I say, Mark, you did it all. At this point, it's time to do what LSU is doing. For all you college fans, everyone knows LSU's just fired their famous head coach, right? They said, we done with this. We going to get this done the right way. There's going to be no firing. We're going to set this up and give this guy success, which hopefully means a period of time. We have not had the ability for not a single coach in the last 20 years to last more than 4 years. I don't even know if it's been 4 years, maybe even 3. And the revolving door is astounding. It's mind-boggling.
It's wearing the organization down to the nub. It's given us a reputation in the league where players don't want to come here. Players who get here get easily discouraged. It doesn't when you look at all the successful franchises, Mr. Crump, and you know I got my little list. Kansas City, the Rams, the Bills, the Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the perennially successful franchises that you see showing up in the playoffs every year. Baltimore. One of the things, even when they have down years, they're not that bad. Okay? It's because continuity. The same guys, the same system, and oh, by the way, they have strong GMs in those franchises.
Big time.
And you know how I know they're strong? Because you don't even know their names. They are working quietly behind the scenes, acquiring talent, making deals, enticing players to come. Of course, it's easy when you're a winning team. And so on. And one more importantly, this is something the Raiders have never learned, and I'm not mad because Al was our GM, let's face it, for 40 years.
Yes.
The problem is the GM's job, and listen to me, Raider Nation, the GM's job is to put a check and balance on the decisions of the head coach. The head coach cannot run your front office. The GM has the vision, he has the connections, he has the network to get you good players, he has the scouting organization and the planning and the experience to draft you good players. Strong organizations have strong GMs, and the Raiders have never allowed that. Every GM we bought in here has zero experience. Zero.
No, you're right. You're right. And
we
got to do something.
Don't understand how it's supposed to be done. The head coach in consultation with the GM runs the franchise, but the head coach job is to get ready every Sunday.
Yes.
It's not to decide, oh, I'm going to leave Lockett out there and I'm going to not pay Myers and I'm going to hire my son.
Right.
You need a check and balance on bad decisions. If we had a strong GM at the time of Musgrave, he would have said no.
They wouldn't allow it.
Musgrave stays.
So, as an
USC Buddy Norton, he gotta go.
Yeah. So for example, I don't know if people know or have heard about what went down when it came to LSU. That was kind of one of the scenarios. It was, look, somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to get fired here. And Kelly couldn't do it. He couldn't fire anybody, so they said, all right, well, then you're out the door. And that's just exactly how it went down. If you can't fire somebody on your staff based on what just transpired, with all this money we're paying you to get this ship turned right, time for you to go. So that's ultimately why he got fired, man. That's ultimately why he got fired. And yes, Miss Tracy Tucker, Mama Tucker, you are 100% correct. Miss Peggy know her stuff. Inside up, upside down, and around. That's why we have her on the Ultimate Raider fan
show.
She don't care.
That's my dad, y'all.
Tell you what it is.
Rest in peace. But it's that kind of thinking is why now we're looking at a situation, your LSU situation again. Here we got Pete Carroll with O-line, with an offense in dysfunction, the 32nd ranked offense in the NFL. The Raiders are number 32.
This is wild.
That's right. There's nobody below us. Okay? You've got an offensive line that is ranked. PFF even had to give it up this year. 31. Right now. They had to give up all that. Oh, the Raiders line is an okay line. No, they had to give that up this year. It was just too terrible to look at. And so what Pete Carroll is responsible for making the call. And just like your guy at LSU, if you can't make the call, get out.
Get out.
Unfortunately,
get out. The door is there.
But there we go with that. But there's the revolving door again, because we got an owner that don't know nothing about tomatoes.
You hit it on the head.
Now, see, normally an owner would step in and make that call. Okay?
Right.
Sit Pete down and tell him, you got to do something. I don't want to see that O-line coach in my building no more. And I want Chip Kelly to be told, if you don't bring this offense up to a respectable level, this is going to be your last year too.
Yep.
But who's there to tell Pete that?
Nobody.
Who's there to tell? Spike?
No.
Spike? Why do you think they fired Telesco? A GM with experience and vision and with talent to pick in a draft. Why do you think they fired him?
He had a great draft too.
So they could get, but wait a minute, so they could get a GM in there that would do as he is told.
Yeah, absolutely. No, 100%. Spy Tech was a straight up plan. And he's probably like, Pete's my dad up in here, and I'm gonna listen to Tom, and it is what it is. I don't know. I'm
Mr. Crump. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not happy with what you've stated in terms of the GM, because the GM technically in every organization pretty much is the man. He's the leader. He's the general manager. He runs the house.
He has the vision.
He runs the house. He runs it all.
He's not out there. Right, Mr. Crump. He's not out there having to game plan and prep every week. He can see the big picture, what they call here in D.C., the 30,000-foot view. His job is to create a vision for the franchise. Yes. And then if he has to, he can sell a Pete Carroll on his vision or change his vision to suit Pete. But Pete cannot run this franchise. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the mistakes of a guy. The problem with the Raiders the last 25 years has been that we don't have a GM with vision that can get us some talent in there. Mr. Crump, why the entire offseason pass? The audience, please explain to Mr. Crump, why did the entire offseason pass and the best offensive lineman we could get in there is Alex Cappa?
Alex Cappa. Like, Jesus, it's
Nobody else.
mind-boggling. That one, and that's all on Spy Tech in my eyes. I have to.
How could a whole off season pass? You get no free agent talent in here. And while we're at it, Pete, mistake number 6.
Yeah.
What's all this nonsense about I don't play rookies?
Oh, when you're supposed to be the main guy.
Rookie?
He's supposed to be the
What do
main
you
guy.
mean? You have one of the worst rosters. Right. You have one of the worst rosters in the NFL, and you sitting up there talking about you don't play rookies. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Can somebody explain to me what's going on here?
Yeah, we all need to know. We all deserve to know. We all want to know where we at with this, Pete. Pete has so much to answer for. It's all Pete, and that's what's so sad, man. It's not. Us Raider fans have been held hostage for so long. For so long. There's always one bad apple out of the bunch. I swear everything comes full circle the way we talk. This Peggy, you just open everything up and it makes sense. I mean, it's right now Peter is the bad apple, and sometimes he's not.
Definitely. And let me explain something. With that O-line, and Mr. Crump in the audience, I know you're going to be thinking about this a little while. When you're trying, and Tom Cable would know this because I've seen him do it. When you're trying to get the right combination of 5 guys with the right chemistry, the right skill set, playing next to the right people, understanding their roles, you're going to have to mix and match. You're going to have to pull some people and put some people in. You're going to have to try different combinations. You may, I tell you, I was on Captain Jack's show, and he had a great suggestion. And Captain, if you're watching, yes, no, I'm not going to pay you for this. He says move Glaze to the left tackle spot, okay? Plug that boy Rogers in the right tackle spot. He said move JPJ back to center, and he wants Grant to be plugged into Dante Parham's spot. Parham should, I keep saying Dante, Dylan Parham's spot. Parham should never see the field again.
Ever again.
Okay? Meredith should never see the field again. And those are, but if that lineup doesn't work together, and you start shuffling around again. And I know now we're getting later and later and later in the season, and it's getting harder and harder to make these kinds of changes. But you got to do something.
Yeah.
Your quarterback is done. Okay, he's shell-shocked. He looked like Minshew, right? The way Minshew looked just before he broke his collar.
Right.
Okay, and Gino is just an injury waiting to happen, just like Minshew. What do we have in common? What do they both have in common? Why is AOC not healthy?
Right.
Why has he been injured 3 times?
Offensive line
behind that
but no. Everybody wanted to go get a running back at 6.
Y'all still back there. I know it was the horse. The cart was before the horse, but you saw Pete. Pete did not think that O-line was a priority. So therefore, the Junty at 6 was easy for him. It was easy because he thought his O-line situation was taken care of. He got his son in charge.
Yeah, it'd be fine. He'll get it. He'll get it going. He's got that P gene. I agree. I didn't like none of this. I didn't like none of it.
It was a no-brainer. Well, but I know you can't leave Junty at 6. You can't leave Junty on the board, even if you pick an old lineman at 6. Okay, he still would have been playing next to bums.
Right.
You see,
absolutely.
There is not, and I dare y'all to name me one. Of course, there's no all-pros on our O-line. I would dare you to name me one that would make the Pro Bowl, either now or in the future. And don't tell me Powers Johnson.
No.
Don't tell me Colton Miller. Miller been out there 8 years, ain't made not a one Pro Bowl for a reason.
Yep. Everybody knows I've heard
that reason is. You see, you need at least one All-Pro on that line, some seriously good players so you can show your young guys what to do. Who doesn't know this? Right. Which is another reason why you shouldn't have pissed Myers off, because you drafted 2 young wide receivers that needed to be schooled. Okay? And they needed a guy like Myers to help him, but you pissed him off back in May. So he wasn't going to be any help to you or to those young players. And before I go, let us bow our heads and say a little prayer for little Mr. Thornton.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you know, that's the kind of pick that, you know, you were praying, because the Raiders didn't have no number one. We couldn't even pay a number one to come here and play for us, okay? So that meant we had to develop a number one, right? Because you can't get one here. You got to pray that one of those 2 wide receivers, please, baby Jesus, please. And not a one of them. I'm looking at the talent level, and unless the O-line play improves, I can't even see whether Thornton or Beck are worthy. I can't tell. We have no deep passing game, right? The play design is pathetic. They're not going to get open. They're not getting open office. And then, of course, as a result, your quarterback play is atrocious. So how are these young guys going to learn anything? We have to go out and get a number one next year. If we have to pay him $100 million, I mean,
whatever he wants.
What I mean,
whatever he wants.
And see, we always have to do that, and then they get here, and then they start lollygagging and half playing, and then they get hurt. We never get the luck, do we?
No, it's been tough.
It's been tough, but it's time for me to step away. And you know, Mr. Crump,
I know you got to do your thing.
My honor to be here tonight. I will show up in a couple of weeks because I want y'all to remember those 6 points I made about Pete Carroll. I want you to look and examine and then say to yourself, no wonder we're in the basement of the AFC.
Right?
And we're going to stay there until we get a strong GM, experienced GM in here that can chart the course, and him and the head coach are working together to help this team get a better roster, get some playmakers out there on the field. Playmakers. It's a 2-syllable word. That means a guy who is capable of turning around the game with one play.
Right.
We need a whole lot. I think Junty is one, and we know Bowers is one.
Oh, absolutely. We got a couple of pieces.
We got a few, but we need more. We need a playmaker on that O-line. On that O-line and on the D-line. We need 2 guards, okay?
we need 2, like, and then we still need more than that because we don't have no depth.
And a center. I mean, it's so pathetic, but on the D-lines, we need a DT that commands a double team. Notice I said 2, because why? Because Max needs help.
Right, absolutely.
We need a situation where Max, you can't slide anybody double teams over to Max because you're afraid of what that DT is going to do to your quarterback. We don't have that guy, that playmaker. That's what I'm talking about, that level of talent. And we'll talk more in a couple of weeks. And you guys have a great evening. Okay, see you soon.
Thank you, Miss Peggy in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, Miss Peggy in the building. Hey, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, shout out. We got a new guy, Super Omnicron in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show. We had a ton of people. You know what? Let me just go on ahead and run them down. Let me see if I can. I don't even know if I can, man. It's too many of them. We got Killian. We got Mysterious. This is all TikTok, by the way. We got Colacora, Agamble, Mr. C in the building. Man, it's Rel 804. That sounds like somebody up in VA, right? That's somebody in Virginia. Man, we got plenty. Xavier, we got Unsaid, we got Elias Flores in the building. We got Jameer, we got Tripper 3300. Prince TK. This man, Jerome Rowe. I can't thank y'all enough. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. So, I mean, some of y'all are new, man. I can already tell. Playmaker like Makai Lemon or DB like Mansour Delane, LSU. Well, and then also, obviously, Super Omnicron stated 6 points about Pete Carroll. The minute he dissed that big old puppy dog JPJ, who the hell would hate on JPJ? He's Chris freaking Farley. I had a big problem with everything that's going on in terms of Pete Carroll and what he's doing. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And we're not going to get around it. There's so much. We did talk about Jacoby being gone. Shout out to Jacoby Myers, though. Real talk. You know, it happens, man. It happens. Look, I never ever disliked Jacoby Myers. I have to put it out there because, see, I got receipts, man. Y'all can go back to where I was like, this was the inevitable, in my opinion, anyways, because he never ever showed any ability to play bigger than just a decent number 2 wide receiver. Is that a clown disrespect? No, he's got very good reasons, if you will, in terms of excuses, right? Whether it be the quarterback play, the quarterbacks in general, offensive line. The list goes on and on for Jacoby Myers. But the reality is, it doesn't matter where he's been. He's never even been a great number 2, let alone a number 1. He's had plenty of times to show he's a number 2. Never looked like a solid number, not even a great, let alone elite, right? Because we have elite. I would say any of the top 5 number 2s in the NFL would be considered elite number 2s. They may never be able to, promote to being elite number 1. Maybe they might be a great number 1 if they got a great number 2, or even elite number 2, because we all understand that elite number 2s don't necessarily translate to elite number 1s. And I mean, these are all things that are easy to understand and see. I mean, and that's why I've had the issues with Jacoby or anyone else that can't put up numbers with any quarterback. Look at Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has a 40-year-old man that should be on the couch talking with me right now. Joe Flacco should be talking with me right now, how we on the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? Born and raised, went to, you know what I'm saying? Wow. Went to, D1 double A's. He went to Delaware. I went to Montana. That's where, you know what I'm saying? Joe Flacco should be right here with me. And this dude out there producing the best 4-game streak of any quarterback this year, let alone of a 40-year-old of all time. Yeah, we love them too. I love them as well. He was one of the best locker room guys in terms of Jacoby Myers. Like, real talk. He was absolutely one of the locker room guys. Mama Tucker, you have no idea how much flack I got. And this was back when we had Devontae, right? There was no Brock, there was no, right? Devontae was clearly a number 1 wide receiver. And again, I have to make people see. Go look at the numbers Devontae put up with the quarterbacks we had. And you see what he's doing now with who used to be my favorite. Joe Burrow is my favorite now, but it used to be, Matt Stafford. And for that one hot second, your boy Turf was ecstatic. I don't know if y'all remember, man. I had the inside story to Beeline. Hey, I give credit where credit is due. I'm going to just put it to y'all like this. There's no way in my mind that you can tell me that we didn't go after Matt Stafford. And when I say go after Matt Stafford, I mean throw the kitchen sink. Everything at him. He just is a smart guy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the Raiders are horrible. They're so disappointing. Why would any star want to come here? Look at every star we've had in the past 5 years. Don't even go farther. 3 years. Go 3 years. How have they been dealt? How have they been, treated? I don't think any of us want to go down this route. None of us really, truly want to talk about the reality of how the front office treats, let alone star players. But just players in general, it seems. And that's why you see a revolving door. You wonder if anyone would ever even really, truly, come here unless it's just for the bag. 100% for the bag. That's all it would be for. But that's the corner we've, put ourselves in for the last 20 years. And as somebody was saying earlier, I don't know what we were discussing. It wasn't even, this was, other life situations, right? When you're looking at 40, 50 years or something, you know what I mean? It may take 40, 50 years to get out of it. It may take 100 and 200 years to get out of it after you've been sitting in it for 40. I mean, truth is, The Las Vegas Raiders is Al Davis, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Las Vegas Raiders right here. I don't know if you knew that, know that. This guy right here was the Las Vegas Raiders. And unfortunately, I think it's over. I don't think we will see what we want to see until literally everything of the Davis family is gone. And that's not because of Mark. I've praised Mark again. I'm gonna praise this. I'm gonna praise him before I get out of here. Because again, Mark Davis has done it all. Shout out to Mark Davis. Man, we got unfortunate things in common. The one biggest that, it's always going to stick in your mind, your heart, your soul, your body, just like me, man. And that's having a parent pass away. It's been by far the hardest year for me in several ways. Not only just my dad, my dog. I mean, there's so much. I couldn't even talk about my dog. Like, yeah. And I'm not talking about a human. I'm literally talking about my dog. And it's so wild because at least I got her on film. I got her out there, because it was literally my last, one of my knockout king shows, knockout canvas shows where she was always, loud. And, even people actually said something like, yo, I don't hear that dog anymore. Shout out to Tiana, man. She was my dog. So, but yeah, it's been a tough year. This is the toughest I've ever had to deal with. And to be honest, all of this stuff pales to nothing compared. I still do what I do. I love doing these shows. I love interacting with, all the Raider fans. As you know, I am one of the biggest you're gonna find. I think that kind of tells you that. They call me Turf for a reason, man. So, but no, we are where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Like I've always said, I'm still gonna call it as I see it. And we're just here this year, man, to see what we can do. And at some point, history will repeat itself. That I am very, very I'm very excited and believable. It's very believable. Pretty much everything repeats itself in terms of history. You look back, and I don't see this being any different. Yeah. Al ran this thing, man, and until somebody comes in and gets it done the way it's gonna need to get done, we're all, just a part of it. We're all just a part of it, and we'll have to deal with the repercussions. But this was an awesome show. Shout out to Miss Peggy. Y'all man. Y'all should be thanking me as far as bringing Miss Peggy through, because that's like that. Y'all don't understand. That is so much knowledge in the game of football. You'd be a fool not to listen. An absolute pure fool. She is a delight. I wish she could come up every week. I could listen to Miss Peggy talk all day in terms of football. That lady knows her football. Somebody said it, or she knows her football. So. But yeah, all I can say is hang in there, guys and gals. And yeah, I know there goes my corporate thoughts. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough scene. It's tough everything. We are where we are. We are who we are. We are what we are. All I can say is hang in there. The best is yet to come. I do believe we have plenty. And I mean, this is the other thing, man. Now what do I do, ladies and gentlemen? What do I do? What do I do with that right there? What do I do with that? Seriously, what do I do with that right there? It's gotta come down. Yeah, I mean, y'all already see the other one that came down. You see that 1-7. I hide it a little bit, but I gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'd like to have there. I know it will be nice. I'd love to have an 89 next to that 98. That would look pretty slick. But what I'm also really honestly contemplating, and it's for a lot of reasons. It's not just because it's Mama Tucker. There's a lot of reasons, right? Right now, it's the only wide receiver we got. That was the wide receiver we got. That was him, if you will, right? He was supposed to be considered. I don't know how y'all want to put it. But, hey, I might have to get Trey up in that piece, man. I might have to get Mr. Tucker right there. Right there. Remove the 6. Get that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it because I need a wide receiver there. I got plenty of others that I can put there. I don't know. We'll have to see. I do. I mean, bottom line, though, is definitely that 89 next to 98. Marcus is always going to stay there. Shout out to my guy, my main man, Marcus Allen. The reason I even exist in terms of the football world, watching him and never ever, knowing I'd never ever be Marcus Allen. But I could still wear that number and represent. So, yeah, this is where we are. Yeah, we get to just hope. We just get to hope for the rest of the season that we get things to go in our direction for next year, because this year is over, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. I think we kind of knew it was over before the season started. So, but if we can at least continue to get the type of play we got over the weekend, people really showing that they want to be here, right? All of those kind of things. Maybe it'll work out. You know, got to look for the future. Yeah, but I'm way over time. It's a beautiful time. Don't forget, tomorrow night, I will probably have. No, I'm thinking Thursday already, right? Tomorrow night, y'all know what tomorrow night is. Shout out to my dog, my right hand man, called Coach Angelo, man. Tomorrow night is the knockout canvas. Then you got Thursday, which is what I was referring to. Might have a special surprise for you Thursday, man. But it's so funny. I've been putting off watch parties. As you know, I went to the Patriots game. I went to the season opener. But I did not go to any other games. And I have not been having live watch parties. I honestly just didn't. It just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. It's keeping it a bean. It didn't make sense at all. But you get one Thursday because it's dead in the water, ladies and gentlemen, whether I like it or not. And I'm showing it from this side. I don't know. See, I'm go back and forth. It's gonna depend on how I feel. But Thursday night, yeah, we got dead in the water. And for the first time on Thursday night in a long time, I will be decked out in Raider stuff, and we will be watching the game live. Spencer, myself, my co-host, and the smartest sportsman on the planet, in my eyes. But yeah, so that's where we at. If you didn't know, you see I got back with my guys, Christopher Raiders. Shout out to Christopher Raiders. Shout out to Jeff. yeah, I hopped on that Friday night joint. You know, it was a good time. I miss the guys, man. You know, that Friday night thing used to be something that I was a staple of, but obviously all good things come to an end, as they say, or that shall too pass. You know, all those good sayings is left in great hands because obviously it is still rocking and rolling. It's 6 to 8 people on that panel every night. So shout out to the gang there from that respect. All right, 9:25. We went a good whole hour and 25 minutes. So you got the schedule for the rest of the week. Be prepared for a guest next week. You know, you never know in terms of dealing with the ultimate Raider fan. You know, we like surprises, but until then, your boy Turf is out. Peace, ladies and gentlemen.
Dick proposal, you been bugging.